Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Real Inspection Services. This is your host, Chuck Ryan, here to discuss all things regarding your home and the home inspection industry. Hey everyone, Chuck Ryan here, your host with Real Inspection Services podcast. So today on this podcast, I want to share with you my experience as a buyer in real estate, my experience as a home inspector in the industry for over 28 years. What I want to talk about is buyer's expectation. So what do you do when you're looking for a home? So the first most important thing, obviously, is for you to get pre-approved. Once you're pre-approved, it gives you an idea of how much money you can put into purchasing that home, what the down payment is. There's going to be different types of programs that you could apply for, but that's finding a good lender that you can discuss what your options are for purchasing a home. So there's tons of lenders out there. We can kind of discuss that later on, but obviously lenders, just like finding a real estate agent, a home inspector, work with a lender that can give you some background information about who they are, and then obviously referrals, right? So check with family and friends on a good lender for referral. So you got your pre-approval. Now what's your next step? It's finding a good agent. Same way, talk to family, friends, colleagues, see if you can get any referrals from them, maybe 2 to 3. And then once you have those referrals, now it's time to meet that agent. Once you meet your agent, first thing you can do is talk to that agent, have the agent give you testimonials from other past clients. That's an important thing. Just like the real estate inspection industry, we have testimonials. They're all on our website as well. So once you have some agent testimonials, you're talking to the agent about giving you a presentation. Presentation, what I'm referring to is that specific area that you want to live in. Have them show you the areas, whether it's in Chicago, in the outlining areas of Chicago, the western, north, east, south. Where do you want to live? Have them give you that information. Have them present the listing in those areas. You obviously have some specific needs that you're probably looking for. If it's schooling, if it's an area that you want to be in around where it's a local life area, depending on where you want to live, they should be able to give you a presentation of those areas, show where you fit in terms of what your price point is. So now you've collected all that information from the buyer agent that you have agreed to work with. The next step would be to ask their process. How do we proceed from here? So one thing I do want to stress, and it's very important, since the changes have occurred with NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, NAR, is to understand your buyer agreement with your agent. You may have to come to the table with a percentage of the closing cost. In the past, the seller was the one that took care of the closing costs. Whatever the seller and the buyer's agent agreed to, those percentages were split between the two. Since things have changed, there could be that potential where you may have to come to the table with some cash if you want that specific home. So just so you have a clear understanding how that works, have your agent explain to you what their process is. So now you have your agent. Everything was agreed to, and you're on your way to purchasing your dream home. What they'll then do is give you a list of the areas based upon what your needs are. And that's where the buying process starts. They will set the appointments up, get you scheduled to go in and take a look at these homes. And what type of home do you want? Do you want a new home? Do you want an old home? There are pros and cons with both. Even though that it's a new home, there are some cons with new homes. And I will discuss those here in a second. So you've decided you want, let's just say, an older home. Okay? So an older home, obviously, you have to understand that there are going to be some things that come with older homes. Older plumbing, older electrical, what's been updated in the home in the last 5 years. If you're looking at a home and let's just say nothing's been updated in 25 years, chances are you're going to have to put aside some money to take care of those items. For instance, if the furnace is older than 25 years of age, even though it's in working order, there is a slight chance that that can fail on you, and you need to have that money set aside to cover that expense. So again, you have to understand where you're at with your budget, and that's important. If you are approved at a certain dollar amount, that older home may not fit in your budget. So just be aware of that. Those are some of the things that you can look out for when you're walking through a home. Get as much data as you can on an older home. Remember, numbers don't lie. You are pre-approved for that certain dollar amount. You don't want to overextend yourself. And if you are looking at an older home, sometimes those older homes will come with a cost. And you just don't want to put yourself in a hole. So just remember, money doesn't lie. Stick within your budget. Those are just some things with older homes. But the key thing with an older home is get as much data as you can. How old the roof is, electrical, has that been updated, the mechanicals in the home, etc. Let's talk about new homes. New homes, especially if you're buying in an area that's being developed, sometimes the contractors are a little leery about having home inspectors come and inspect the home. Just because it's a new home, that is your right to get a home inspection. It doesn't mean not to get a home inspection. I have stories upon stories of buyers not getting a home inspection because it's a new construction home. They were misguided from whether it was a family, friend, maybe even their agent saying that there's a warranty on the home. The warranty on homes, you got to read the contract the builder puts out on those warranties. It's your right to get a home inspection. And again, money well spent is spending that time working with a reputable home inspector to go through and look at every component in that new construction home. So again, new construction, do yourself a favor, get a home inspection. It's better to be proactive than reactive. So let's talk about condominiums. Condominiums, if you don't want to deal with owning a home, let's just say you're looking for a condominium that doesn't have a backyard. Townhomes do have backyards. Usually the HOA takes care of the landscaping around there. But let's just say you want a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. You want all the amenities that come with a condominium. Some condominiums have pools. Some condominiums have a 24-hour door person, parking. But when you're looking at a condo that has those amenities, just remember there's going to be a homeowners association. So with that, what I talk about cost is that there's a separate homeowners association fee that you'd have to pay for. And sometimes those could be $300. Sometimes I've seen them anywhere upwards to $1,200. So just remember, an HOA does come with costs. The more amenities they have with that building, that is that cost that's going to come out of your pocket on top of your mortgage. And oh, by the way, if you're looking at a condominium, sometimes parking does not come with those. So if you can find a condo that comes with parking, that's an additional cost as well. And if you can't find parking, they do sell parking spots within that building if that's the particular building you want to live in. But those could be another cost that you may not be prepared for. And just I could tell you, based on past experiences, those spaces could be about a $25,000 cost on top of your mortgage and your HOA fee. So I know that was a lot of information. What I'm going to do here as we end this podcast today is let's just go over the main points here. So the first thing is you're looking to get a pre-approval. So you want to find a lender, you get that pre-approval. Again, that gives you an idea how much money you're approved for that particular property, and then possibly what your downstroke or your money that you're going to have to put down for that purchase. So pre-approval is important first. Then you start networking with family and friends. Who have they used to find a buyer's agent? So that's the next thing. Find a good, reputable buyer's agent. Talk to that agent. Ask the agent for some testimonials, what their process is for purchasing or helping you find that home. And again, presentation, the agent should be able to walk through what the process is going to be for you to locate that home. And then the second thing is, along with that, is to understand your agreement with the agent once you've decided to work with that particular agent. If you remember earlier on, there could be a potential that you may have to bring money to the closing. So as long as you know what's expected of you, then there's nothing there that's hidden. Everything is out in the open, and that's important. So then after that, you've hired your agent. Now it's time to look for your home. And then you have to decide, do you want to look for an old home, a new home? Do you want to look for a condominium? And I didn't discuss that earlier, but townhomes kind of fall in that realm of condominiums. So they do come with an HOA, which is a homeowners association, and there is typically a fee attributed to that. So once you've decided where you're at, what you want to purchase, if you want to purchase a condo or a townhome, that's an extra added cost that can be added on top of what your mortgage is. Next week's episode, what we're going to talk about is the process to hire a good, credible home inspector. That is one of the most important processes after you've located your home, whether it's a home, new construction, old condo, townhome, you still need to get a home inspection. So next week, what we're going to talk about is your steps on hiring a reputable home inspector. We'll discuss the process of how to interview a home inspector, the questions to ask, what's expected of the home inspector, and the home inspector should have some expectations for you as well. So thank you again for listening to Real Inspection Services Podcast. I'm your host, Chuck Ryan. I look forward to speaking to you in the future. And remember, it's better to be proactive than reactive. Thank you again for tuning in to Real Inspection Services Podcast. If you have any questions regarding your home or our services, please reach out to us at realinspectionservices.com. If you would like us to answer any of your questions on the podcast, send us a DM on Instagram at Real Inspection Services. All info is down below in the show notes.